Uh, Today is a wonderful day. Wonderful because we will talk with Dima from Russia. We will talk
It's
about
me.
different
It's me.
topics. Yeah. And yeah, let's go. What do you think, Dima? How is your mood right now? Let's go.
Uh, Today is a bit better than on the previous live stream and like days before.
Mm-hmm.
So I how to say, I get your energy from your channel and from you personally. So it's
Oh, wow.
raising my mood.
Thank you a lot for your kind words. And yeah, for me, it's very interesting, of course, to know how good our connection at first, because it is very important to find out and to have your questions, because today we will try to answer on your questions. And of course, we will talk about immigrants, about people who is living in Russia. And topic for today, like, of course, not specific, but also about us, what weight people who is living in Russia and what weight people who is staying in Russia at this moment, because we see what war which Russia started, Putin started. As a result, we can see what millions of Russians fleeing, millions, and we are one
Yeah.
of them. We're just one of them. And for me, it's interesting. Dima, do you know how many countries, maybe from your surroundings, your friends, left Russia? In which countries? Yeah.
I can say about like those people. They are my friends, but
Yeah.
people I know, like maybe other YouTubers from other channels, like Diary Step, Zach the Russian. Who else? No, Roman no
Yeah.
factor. They all in Georgia, like because this is a very comfortable staying here because you don't have to worry about your next destination for for the whole year. You can stay here for a whole year,
Yeah.
and um, these guys, they are in Georgia. Some people who I met in Kazakhstan, like people were just in the same situation as me. Like they
Mm-hmm.
were crossing the border between Russia and Kazakhstan, and some of them still in Kazakhstan for some
Mm-hmm.
reasons. Um, who else? The girl from Ukraine. I met her only twice in St. Petersburg, and I didn't know that she is Ukrainian. She's from Ukraine, but she was like, "I really like Saint Petersburg. I really like architecture and stuff." But after that, uh, as Mo started,
Yeah.
she had to leave. But I'm not sure she left to Ukraine and after that to Canada, or
Mm-hmm.
just from Russia to Canada with Ukrainian passport, and she applied to that special program for Ukrainian refugees in Canada, and now she's living there. What else? Mexico, of course, Mexico, because a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
prefer some countries with warm weather.
Yeah.
It's pretty comfortable there, and in Mexico, Russians can stay for half of 1 year, so it's pretty like close to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, a lot of people move to Mexico, and some of them, maybe like you, will cross the border between Mexico and United States and apply for asylum and stuff. So yeah, this is like just a few countries I know.
Yeah, I can imagine what people flee into different countries. I was reading different articles. So what majority of Russians living to Georgia, to Kazakhstan, because it is
Yeah,
more affordable. Not so many Russians has money. And I didn't say at the beginning what you can support us. You can leave like and subscribe to this channel. You can find also channel of Dima, because it is wonderful to he is a wonderful guy, and I believe what it will be perfect if you will
yeah,
subscribe on him,
yeah.
on his
Thank you.
channel. Yeah, and
Yeah,
yes, uh, I know, and it seems for me logical what majority of Russians they're fleeing to Kazakhstan, Mongolia, Georgia,
yeah,
Turkey, but
yeah.
There you will, yeah,
Turkey,
Turkey,
Turkey.
Turkey, yeah. But for me, anyway, uh, I'm understanding in your position, you was in Kazakhstan and
Yeah,
you was also in Georgia.
yeah.
Yeah. But what do you think? How good choice is it? I mean, um, do you feel they're safer than in Russia? Or
Mm, yes, yeah. I feel that places like the countries where I was,
mm-hmm,
like in Kazakhstan and here in Georgia,
mm-hmm,
it's more safe than in Russia. It's yeah, that's true. But in Kazakhstan, Kazakhstan and Russia, the countries have very tight relationships, like between police, between
mm-hmm,
some export import policy and stuff. And Russian government announced information about uh, how to say deserters. We are
yeah,
deserters
traitors,
who, yeah,
traitors,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, we're trying to avoid
yeah,
mobilization. If in Russia they will have some mark that you are trying to avoid mobilization, they're
yeah,
gonna ask government of Kazakhstan
mm-hmm,
to how to say to send you back to Russia from Kazakhstan.
yeah,
And that's why I felt like maybe it's not so safe because of this so tight connection between Kazakhstan. But at the same time, Kazakhstan support openly support Ukraine and send some humanitarian support to Ukraine, and it's it's everyone knows about that, and Russia knows about.
yeah. I remember this moment when President of Kazakhstan openly said to Putin what he doesn't like what Russia is doing, and he thinks that it's open war, it is war. And I was, to be honest, surprised what he said this like sitting near Putin, but also I'm understanding what in such a way he's trying to save his economy because he
Yeah,
doesn't want to have sanctions against his country, and also he's like trying to have this balance and also trying
like
to yeah yeah
Turkey,
yeah
like Turkey
Turkey yeah
president.
yeah yeah
Yeah, Erdogan, he's playing with all countries, with all leaders of with West, and this is a country of NATO, and
yeah
he have connection between Putin, and he's trying to sit on all the chairs. Can I say
yes he's trying to have benefits from
from both
everyone
sides?
yes
Yeah,
from both sides and it's quite it's difficult to not to notice this and
yeah.
people have questions for you. Example, Sam, he's asking, how long do you study English? And yeah,
Um,
hmm
so from my childhood, I can say, like from my elementary school, that was the first days when I started learning English, but it was like basics.
hmm
And in Russian schools, it's not so good level of education. For studying English in Russian school, it's not so good because the system is quite. Simple. You need to learn some rules and you need to repeat after the teacher, and this will be your success in a class. You can have the good, only A's, like how to say,
hmm
like
Marx,
yeah, only
yeah,
good marks on English, like English classes, but it
hmm
will be not enough to communicate to other people.
yeah.
So the system of education in Russia, it's not so good. But
Yeah, I can.
yeah.
For me, it's interesting because I was living in forest of Russia. It's completely different. I was studying until 16 years old in village, and this village we have like really terrible education. I want to say to you, and for you, is it so like how bad it was? Like it was bad, or education? I mean, or maybe you had good classes, like chemistry classes with good equipment, or you didn't have this.
mm, I think on some classes we had a lot of stuff to learn, some some different classes, but not for English. uh,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's it. Like it was not so terrible because I think um, even in one city you can find the best school of that city, like where will be
Mm-hmm.
good teachers, good uh, director of that school, and guys who study in that school, they're gonna be like intelligent, very hospitable to each other, not to bully each other, and
Mm-hmm.
like eat after school classes and stuff. Yeah, you can find it in even in the small towns, but not so small, I think, as yours.
Yeah, I feel it's like kind of anyway difference. You can
Yeah.
feel this between these regions, and there was question. One moment, I want to find this question flow from our moderator. Moderator, wow, what is it? What is it?
it's it's lukumades, Greece cuisine. It's
Mm-hmm.
lukumades. It's like balls made with dough, and it's empty inside, but it's with syrup of honey and lemon honey syrup.
Wow,
Extremely
and
tasty.
it's delicious. How to say sweet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Ah,
It's sweet.
wow, it's nice. It's nice because
With
come on.
with tea, it's perfect.
These days I'm trying to eat less sweet stuff because I'm trying, but I already more than 1 week don't go to the gym, but yes. Anyway, I'm not eating a lot sweets, and for me, like when I'm watching when somebody is eating sweet, I'm like, oh, take it me,
I
please
see.
give it
I
me.
see guys
Yeah,
asking
yeah,
where from that dessert I got. So
yeah.
it's from Elada, my favorite cafe in Batumi. So I recommend everyone who gonna visit Batumi, George Batumi, go to Elada and say like we are from Dima's channel and stuff, and we're gonna make you some discounts. I think maybe give you
They know
some
you. They know
locomotives.
what you're a
Yeah,
YouTuber. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
wow. It's
We've been making
wonderful.
some live streams, like playing with one of the owners of that cafe, backgammon, нарды по-русски.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that was really cool.
Heather said, "Come to the dark side, Alex. Go to eat with us, like sweets." And like, okay,
Yeah.
yes, it's nice. And I wanted to ask a question from our moderator, Lisa. She said,
Mhm.
she asked, "What are your life goals? Like 10 or 20 years from now? What you like to have accomplished in that time after 10 years? How
Mm.
you think it will be?" Looks like.
Um,
Yeah. Mhm.
I can say in simple words, but it's not the main goal. But in these circumstances where I have right now,
Mhm.
because I'm still in somewhere in a situation. I'm like between two choices. Like I
Mhm.
have to go on one side or on another, and it will be completely different lives in the future.
Yeah.
But one of the main goals I can share with you, it's create mm, a family, like very, how to say, grateful family, or I don't know how to say, like successful family with there will be my wife's some kids after a few years, and it will be
Mhm.
success for me because I think family it's one of the um, um, very important things in your life. So it's your close, people who you can trust and share any moment of your life. So yeah.
I completely agree with you, but you also said what you on the path where you don't know, where on the path of uncertainty. For me, everything is clear. Right now, Russia is doomed by all of this means because look at this economy, look at these sanctions, look at this what is Putin doing. You don't know, I don't know what Russia will looks like tomorrow, but I don't see that perspectives at all. And it's not like what, yeah, it's quite clear, but why, because we can see how millions of Russians live in Russia. And that's why, for me, Russia, it's already like in some way falling apart because a country without people, it's not country, it's just territory. And uh, if we will talk about where do you want to live, of course, you're not certain right now, but which country? Yes, of course, my favorite country is the USA. It was before, but your favorite country maybe the USA, Canada, maybe some of them. What?
I'm not sure about my favorite country because I didn't visit a lot. Mm, you know, my plan was, and I was sharing my plan
Mm-hmm.
about travels and stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
let me say, I'm a bad traveler. I do not want to travel a lot, like everywhere in the world. I don't want to go to Thailand or some Asian
Mm-hmm.
countries because a lot of people were in a small territory, and I not hate that. Maybe for a short period, like for 1 week or two, it will be
Yeah.
cool to see how people live there, and that's it. But for living in a long-term distance, it will be
Mm-hmm.
not for me, and I completely understand it right now. But my plan was to stay in Russia, like
Mm-hmm.
before all that happened, before.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in Russia, run my projects, small projects like that YouTube channel,
Yeah.
step by step, slowly grow, and travel to another countries for not like a tourist
Mm-hmm.
but for 1 month or maybe even more to see the life in that country, to feel the culture, to feel some aspects you cannot see from even from videos on YouTube, like how people live in Turkey, for example.
Yeah.
Like someone can make this video and you will watch it and you will see only one perspective from that person or from his family.
Yeah.
It will be not enough because you need to clarify, you need to check by your own what's really happening, how do you feel in that country, right? So on your experience you need to check the whole information you received before, some internet sources, maybe your friends visited that country and they said like it was terrible experience, never go to Turkey and stuff.
Turkey. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you need to check it out because you can't believe in words of someone.
I,
So
I I
yeah,
can imagine it's
let me
yeah.
say a bit more. Like my plan was to um, see different countries
Mm-hmm.
for like month or more, back to Russia, stay in Russia for some time, go to another country and stuff. And after all that, whole trips, like all these trips, decide where to go or where's the best place to live.
Mm-hmm.
But now I don't know because I see some perspectives in Russia, but it's mostly about business. It's mostly about making money, but it's not safe because all perspectives in Russia uh, related to business. It's at the same time, it's related to some risks by sanctions from government to your company, for example, or they can take your business to their to the government if it will be too huge business. Um, and what else? Like perspectives of life, it will be terrible, of course, because it will be not growing. It will be uh, how to say rebuilding, like fixing all what was happened after special
Uh,
military operations and stuff.
But yeah, I want to disagree with you when you said that Russian business has perspectives. I don't see their perspectives at all because all business which Russia has right now is dying. Only those like big companies, which huge companies like McDonald's, they was bought by oligarchs, Russian oligarchs, and as a result, they're taking these business uh, big companies to friends of Putin, and as a result, small business never had in Russia before they had chance. It was like something was happening, like movements towards how to say improvement. But at this moment, it's that by all means because I don't say I'm shocked to be honest how you can see what kind of perspective you can see in Russia in business because
Because anything when something bad happening, it's
yeah
like two sides. Like for someone,
yeah
it's bad. For regular people like me,
yeah
it's bad because I
yeah
don't have some business related to Russia, like based in Russia. I do
hmm
not have it.
yeah
But I know and I see a lot of information about business which is located and based in Russia. For
hmm
example, they produce something like soap or shower
yeah
soap for shower
hmm
shampoos and stuff, and they're based in Russia. And now they're growing like a lot of
because
businesses.
there is demand on this like people because of sanctions they cannot
Yes,
buy
yes,
yeah
exactly. This is another side of
yeah
sanctions and stuff. Local business, which based in Russia and have some, production in Russia, it will be growing, but only with
yeah
help of government.
and
And
it
like
means yes
government will cover some and close eyes on some things like people or which like that companies like trying to import some stuff for their business from another countries, and we're gonna say like you don't have to pay some
hmm
taxes because it will like a special situation, and we will close our eyes on it because you need to grow, you need to produce more products for Russian customers and stuff. It will be, from Russian side, from government side, it will be good because people, um, when people go to a grocery store or any
yeah
supermarket, they need to see, they must see a lot of products because
hmm
government do not want to see the shortage or something of
yeah
food of some products and stuff, and it will be like a very successful thing for government. It will be okay, it will be cool when companies growing in Russia.
but also yes maybe yes of course when some companies leaving other companies can
Exactly.
appear they have but also here everywhere is bad communication with Russian government and this you must be
Agree.
corrupted you
Agree.
must be corrupted like Russian
Yeah.
government is
Corruption
and it
now it's
means
legal.
it's
It's legal.
illegal and it means what if you want to have business in Russia right now, you're supporting a war. You're supporting a war automatically because you will pay taxes to Russian government. As a result, you're corrupted
Agreed. Agreed.
like Russian government itself. And of course, it is that side, like this realization what you are giving money for war, for because Russian government spending all budget, their priority right
Yeah.
now, it is war in Ukraine. And as a result, you will pay for war, you will invest into war. And of course, many people don't like this perspective at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even if you have a successful business and government do not touch you, you will like hiddenly support because you pay taxes just because of that fact. Like you pay, and after government will use your money for their, what they need.
And if you will look at chat, some people were saying you need to talk with Russian. One moment. I
A
wanted to
plus.
say to you what majority of people who is YouTubers like Konstantin, who is talking in English, they lost their business. They live in Russia because this is not life when you are not allowed to have to express yourself. This is not democracy, and that's why
That's
people
true.
live in.
That's
And
true.
logistic is not working in Russia at this moment because all countries like Kazakhstan, they create a new logistic because uh, directly it's difficult to buy. You will not find like directly products. They're not moving from Europe to Russia because of this war, because of sanctions. All products going through China or through Kazakhstan, like this. And as a result, right now, of course, logistic
But
is not
only
working.
only of some aspects because Kazakhstan, at the same time, Kazakhstan suffered because of sanctions against Russia. Because
Yeah,
now in Kazakhstan, McDonald's is closed because they were
yeah,
importing some products like cutlets from Russia, and
yeah,
just like I realized at that moment when I saw that news that "Вкусная точка," a new McDonald's in Russia, yeah, tasty
yeah,
period, they were export cutlets to Kazakhstan, and Kazakh McDonald's was
yeah.
using cutlets by Russian tasty period. that that's funny, like to realize that.
Yeah, it is.
And yeah,
And of course, when I was reading these articles too, and like McDonald's is closing in Kazakhstan.
yeah,
How I didn't at first I didn't understand connection, but then I realized, and then like now I get it because, and of course, this situation in Turkey by all of means like inflation, like 80%. It is also because Russians cannot afford to rest in Turkey. Yes, because it is Russians don't have money for relaxations, for vacations. They're trying to save money. They don't know what will happen tomorrow, what will happen in future. And I want to say hello to our chat. Hello to everyone, and thank you for your donations to you, Bill. Dima
yeah.
is looking all
Yeah,
gold today. Yes?
someone said donation bill. I think you need to
Yeah,
check your donation.
I want to look at this one moment. And of course, you can donate. It is a wonderful opportunity to help this channel. And yes, as an economist, I estimate Russia is losing 5 years of growth for every 4 months of war. Yeah,
I think
yeah,
even more. Some experts say even more. Like
even
we're
more.
going to 90s.
Yes, 80s, even 80s, like it's possible because it's not possible, it's happening. It's what we can see right now. And
Yeah, we will see the how to say even more effect of sanctions in next years, like in this year. We will see what will change in like on if we look at some sanctions where they work in long-term period, not
Mm-hmm.
just like after they declared the sanctions, like
Mm-hmm.
Russia is sanctioned and that's it. We need to wait for some months and years to see the result. And yeah,
And for me, it's interesting your opinion about mobilization. Because they said, I saw on your channel too, you was making this premiere about mobilization. What they said was mobilization will be continue, like 500,000 people will be mobilized. And
it's not
yeah,
information from my side. It's information from Ukrainian intelligence,
yeah, yeah,
which they gave
yeah.
to
Mhm.
British media, and no one can say is it true or not. So I don't know. So I can't believe until it's not a fact. Like we will see in the next future. But I think Peskov, the
Yeah.
secretary of Russian president,
Hmm.
um, before the first step of mobilization, he said like it's we do not prepare to any mobilization, right?
Hmm.
And now some media related to Russia, to Russian government, they asking
Yeah.
Peskov the same question, like, is it rumors or not about the next step of mobilization? And he say like, no, 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 we do not discuss about that topic,
Hmm.
and we will see in a few days maybe, but I can't believe on any information.
Um, and you don't believe what it will happen, or you
No,
believe?
I think it will happen because
Yeah.
it's obvious. Because some soldiers on in
Hmm.
front, they need to be rotated
Yeah.
because of some diseases, some how to say hurts. And after some period, they need to
Yeah.
change the people in the front. So it's obvious.
I think I will say more tough because people dying, thousands
Yeah.
people dying there, and like we don't know how many exactly, ninety
Yeah.
thousands, 100,000, and you also write what if they want to make this rotation, and I'm sure I agree with you completely. What it's a matter of time. There will be mobilization. It can be not 500,000. It can be more or maybe less. But
Yeah.
to be honest, this mobilization nobody stopped for this period of time. People on weekends they were receiving this paper about drafting them, like would they
Yeah. And
mobilize?
and
Nobody
and
stopped this before.
yeah, and for some near future, like people receive that papers, just invite to Russian military office, like военкомат,
Hmm. Yeah,
which invite them to come to военкомат and check some information, and they give that paper like
yes,
for 2 months. After 2 months you need to come and check information about you, or even after 3 months or even more. So they can do that. And as I know from some news, Putin said it will happen because he said we need to improve the work of how to say not work all the processes in военкомат. We need to improve
yeah,
all the process. We need to fix the problems and stuff, and we need to make it faster. To военкомат
yeah.
works faster. So it will be, a different level, another level of, a lot of papers people will receive on their, mails and stuff. So yeah, it will be worse, even worse in the future.
I'm sure, and I want to say to our moderator special thank you because you're the best moderators. You're doing our community stronger. heart to all of you. Thank you for supporting, and it means a lot for me. I'm sure for Dima it means too a lot because if I'm
Yeah.
correct, you have moderators too on your channel. Yeah.
But just a few. I'm trying to keep the chat open for some people. If I see someone talking shit about each other in the chat,
Mm-hmm.
it's not connected to my rules of my channel, and it's
Ah, of
every
course.
time when and anytime when you join my live stream, you see the
Yeah.
rules like
Yeah.
respect each other,
Yeah.
and of course you need to follow these rules to
Yeah.
be in the chat. So yeah, and Nightbot can block someone for some short period of time
Mm-hmm.
if you said something wrong and stuff, or if you spam a lot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to control that. But yeah,
I yeah.
I
Yeah.
have some.
I want to say to you what my moderators they're respective. They know they love everyone, and thank you for to all of them. And
Yeah,
we
thanks
have
for
Lisa. Liz, thank you for donations. Thank you a lot. You're amazing too. We have this sticker, and of course, thank you to donations, Stephen
you are
Lindell.
amazing.
Yeah. Hello, Alex from North Texas. Dima, I just bought you 3 donuts. Dima, what is your favorite pizza? Hmm?
Thank you. It was Steven, right? Thank you for the donation.
Steven, yes.
Um, Favorite pizza, it's pepperoni. Pepperoni, definitely, it's pepperoni because it usually it has a lot of cheese and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of pepperoni. So I
Yeah.
like pepperoni, and yeah, this is my favorite.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And Hope Springs, thank you. Alex, I just got off a call with my agent. I have good news for you on your project. Dima, please have hope. You can be a rock star in your future. Thank you, Hope Spring.
Yeah,
I hope
thanks.
was our project will be soon. It's working. It's working. It is a little secret right now, but we will do
Hmm.
this. We are doing this right now. Thank you, Hope Spring. You are the best.
You're
And yeah,
doing that project with Hope Springs,
yeah,
or
yeah.
uh-huh.
We are doing this together. There will be, I believe, involved not only Hope Springs, other people, but it will be wonderful, really wonderful. I'm sure about
Okay.
this. Yeah. And I want to return to mobilization
Yeah.
because mobilization, yes, we know it will happen. I don't trust Russian government at all, but also for me it's interesting to find out to like how to say try to guess. It's just suggestion. How
Hmm.
do you
Hmm.
think is it possible what borders Russia will close borders to countries because people fleeing from Russia. Nobody wants to kill Ukrainians. What do you think?
Mm, as I know from the news again, um, for some people, borders are closed already. Like they are closed for some people. For people related to government, for people
Mm-hmm.
who work in FSB, Russian
Mm-hmm.
intelligence
Yeah.
service, maybe for people who work in police, um,
Mm-hmm.
and ex FSB agents, like
Mm-hmm.
who do not work anymore, but was working at the previous periods. For some managers and head of office like of huge companies like Gazprom, Lukoil, it's a recommendation for them
Mm-hmm.
not to leave the country, to go somewhere to Dubai or Turkey or some
Turkey.
to Spain. They
Yeah.
like a lot Spain and some European countries, and it's a recommendation for them. But I think if you do not follow the recommendation of Putin, it will be another problem for you. um, but I think, anyways,
Mm-hmm.
some of the oligarchs and people close to government, they will go on another countries, like for vacation or for some financial issues, to fix all the sanctions and maybe, fix it somehow. Um, but I'm not sure. I just saw a few a few news about people um, from, let me say, people from government, like they're like from Государственная Дума, let me say in
With
Russian.
it's not parliament. It's just
Kinda
Duma. Duma. It's
parliament,
a
kinda. Yeah, no, Duma. If someone knows what
yeah,
Duma
Duma,
means,
Duma.
it's not
Yeah.
parliament. It's a
Yes.
different.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them went to another country, and our deputies, they said like it's not for this time. You
Yeah.
can't go to another country. It's a serious period, hard period for our country. You need to stay in Russia, and somehow help to solve some problems we have and stuff. Yeah, and again, your question. Um, can you
Was
repeat?
about border, about closing
Yeah,
borders.
yeah.
You said that
So
some of them already closed for some people, certain
yeah,
people. Yeah.
yeah, but I
Yes.
don't think it will be closed for everyone. For everyone, I think definitely it will be not closed for everyone. But maybe it will be a bit difficult for regular people, like for even for women to go to another country. I can't
Yeah.
imagine how it will be um, declared, like even women can't leave Russia for some reason, or they need to make some paper which is
Mm-hmm.
proof that they gonna go back and stuff. Maybe in some, like in USSR times, in Soviet
Yeah.
times. I don't know like what's gonna happen, but in a near time, I think. Women can go anywhere they want, but
Yeah.
yeah, but men, they it may be restricted somehow in some aspects. And by the way, the um, the age of those who need to go to Russian army, regular army,
Mm-hmm.
it's a
Yeah.
bit like, how to say, it's changed now. you
Yeah.
now you need to go from to Russian regular army if you're 21 and
Mm-hmm.
up to 30. But before it was from 18 to 27, so they changed
Yeah.
the that, how to say,
The
the ages,
rank
like, the
age of recruitment. How to
yeah,
say recruitment?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And completely agree with you. Yes, of course. What is happening right now, it will be worse. They will close border in future. Yes. And for me, it's I want to look at our chat, and I want to know about your jacket. I want to say to you, this jacket, like my pants, it was present from Amazon. I want to show my pants with
mhm.
dragons. The cute one. Yes. Thank you for your Amazon wish list, what you're helping me a lot. It's very, very important.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
mentioned before the live stream that the jacket is cool.
Yeah. We were
Yeah,
talking
but
before, and it's
yeah,
nice. Yes. Bill has it right. Where did you get that great hoodie? Yes, I already answered this. Thank you. Oh my God, $50. I
yeah,
see
Roy,
this.
from Roy.
What did he say? Can you read this? I cannot find this.
Alex, thank you for having Dima on your channel. That's my buddy.
Ah, yeah. Thank you a lot. And no money. Thank you for your donations too. Yes. And for me, it's interesting. Do you afraid right now for people who stayed in Russia, for your friends? Because I'm sure it will be worse. What is your recommendation for those who is staying in Russia right now,
I
especially
can
for
say,
guys? Yeah.
yeah, I can say all of them to leave Russia, because everyone have a different situation, like life
Mm-hmm.
situation. For example, one of my friends, he has the category of health, which военкомат, Russian military office,
Mm-hmm.
gave to him. Um, like he have a lot of health problems,
Yeah.
and his mother, she has cancer, like cancer,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and he need to take care about her, and he's only one in their family who work, he still work, who has work.
Mm-hmm.
And in this situation they cannot take him to army,
Yeah.
so he's kind of protected. But this is only one of my friends. The most of them, most of my friends, they
Mm-hmm.
have category V or C, like in English.
Mm-hmm.
It's you will not go to army or
Yeah.
to front in peaceful time. But
Mm-hmm.
if it will be declared like wartime, officially wartime in country, you can be mobilized and you must go. It's your duty to the country. It's your
Mm-hmm.
duty. You must. You can't avoid it
Yeah.
because it's wartime. It's too necessary to protect your country and stuff. But now in Russia, it's officially it's not wartime. To be clear, it's not officially.
Yeah. Officially,
But
yes.
but as I answered on some of comments under my previous video,
Mm-hmm.
it's not officially wartime, but it looks like not only men mobilized to army to and go and sent to front,
Mm-hmm.
but another how to say parts of nation they are mobilized. For example, students in college, in university, they somehow creating some products which will help soldiers in the front,
Yeah.
like um, candle if I pronounce it correctly, like with fire, like
Candle.
candle
Candle.
light,
Yes.
yeah. And for furnace or furnace, like печка.
Yes. Oven.
Не-не-не,
No,
это
no.
другая, это другая.
No, no. It's okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes. It's another
So
one.
for
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
keep warm in a place where soldiers live
Mm-hmm.
near front line. Um, and another like the uniform for soldiers and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like students and college students trying to support бабушкас and elder generation. They trying to make instant soup. What I know,
Mm-hmm.
they make an instant soup for soldiers and send it to soldiers again in the front line. Kids writing letters to soldiers, like trying to support mentally, like psychologically, trying to support. We wait for you and stuff. And as you see from another side, not from official side by the government, you will realize this mobilization all over the nation, all over the
Mm-hmm.
country. So all people involved in it.
Yeah, and sorry, I want to ask question from Sam. He is already twice was asking how old are you, and he
Yeah,
wants.
26. Ever
Yes,
ask him.
Heather.
Yeah,
Heather
20.
said
I
this.
turned 26 in December of 2022.
Yeah, it's wonderful, and I agree with you. What, of course, officially, Russian government didn't declare war, but mobilization when hundreds thousands of people participating in this war. What is it? I mean, how Putin likes to name this specially military operation. But
Yeah.
of course, it is war, and we all know this. And I want to open like this package. It will take like 5 seconds to open this
Mhm.
because Bill sent this today, and he said what? He said it will be wonderful if you will open this online today because yes, you already know what I
Yeah, yeah,
have
yeah.
because this was on Amazon wish list. I did, yes, it's wonderful because like many YouTubers, which I live in Russia, I
Yeah.
I decided that it's important to have for yourself this flag. Yes, I want to show myself. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And this flag I added to the wish list maybe 2 days ago, and I already have this. Maybe one day. It's so fast. And thank you, of course, Bill, for this flag because I believe I must have this flag. Must. Thank you.
Amazon
Thank you.
works well.
Yeah, pretty well, pretty
It
well. It's like
delivers so
one
quickly.
day, one day, and I already have this. Thank you
Yeah.
for this because while I was in Russia, this flag is banned. I was having this flag on Instagram, like to show my position and to show what I think, what I disagree with this war. For those who doesn't know, this flag it is um, how to say it's flag of Russian opposition. Those who want peace and those who against genocide, against this war at all. Because it will, if you will look at Russian flag, it has three colors: white,
White, blue,
blue,
and red.
red. Yes,
Yeah.
and I feel, of course, everyone who left Russia, like you, Natasha from your Russia, Konstantin, everyone knows about this flag. Everyone, because it is a symbol also of expression of your opinion. Because in some way, people sharing same opinion. They against this war, and of course, I know the flag from the Zach. One moment. I
Yeah,
know
Kerem
this,
said.
yeah,
Yeah.
from Zach the Russian. He's a great guy. He wants to study in the USA. Zach the Russian, he's wonderful. And of course, his opinion, I agree with him completely. Yeah. Mhm.
Mm.
Roy, he has question.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, can you read this?
Yeah, I see.
Yes.
Like, ask Dima how much tea he drinks in a day. It usually it's 1 or 2 cups, maximum. So not more. So
Mm.
not a lot. Not a lot of tea.
Do you prefer drink with sugar or without?
I prefer drink with some piece of lemon.
Ah,
It's a must. Piece of
yeah.
lemon and maybe a bit of sugar, a bit to to balance the taste. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you add some lemon, it will be another taste. But I can say it in
Yes.
English. I can describe it in English.
Yeah.
And you need to add some sugar, or if you have honey, it will be definitely better where to add some honey because it's natural sugar. Let me say.
Yeah, completely. I like tea too, and I'm not
What about
drinking
coffee?
coffee. I'm not drinking coffee. How
You
dare
in
you?
United States? How
Yes,
you
how
can
dare
drink
you?
coffee?
I don't know, maybe because I didn't drink coffee in Russia so much. But I like coffee. I like coffee. I don't know why I'm not drinking. And
tell me, tell
Alex,
me,
yeah,
t- tell me about tea in United States. You drink tea, hot
yeah,
tea, like we in
hot.
Russia drink, yeah.
Yes, of
But
course.
as I know, in a lot of fast food and cafes in United States, tea it's like a cold drink, right?
Um, Cold drink. Yes, you can. When I was ordering in fast food restaurants, I was buying cup, and I could
Mhm.
choose anything: ice, iced tea, sweeted tea with sugar, and unsweeted tea. And it was not cold. You can just. It was the temperature like room temperature, but you can add, of course, ice to this drink.
Mhm.
And it's because here it is understandable because temperature it is summer right now. Can you imagine? We don't have
Yeah.
snow in Houston, and people walking like, oh my god, you have green grass, green trees, and they're like, what is happening around here? And
Yeah.
it's one of my cultural shock, because after Russia I never had January without snow.
Yeah.
It was
Do
like,
you miss? Do you miss some snow?
I'm not a little bit, but yes, not so much, because I know what I'm
You can
thinking about
travel.
things.
You can
Yeah,
travel to
but
another state to see snow. So it's.
yeah, I had enough snow in my life. Yes, it was enough. Yes.
Someone asking, Bill, send
Hmm.
donation. Thank you for donation, Bill.
Yeah.
And he's asking, guys, do you wear домашняя обувь? It's house shoes like
Yeah.
тапочки in
I
Russian.
want.
Sleepers, some sleepers or
Yes.
something.
I I want to show you this. Sometimes this you bought me on Amazon wish list. How say slippers? I'm always
Yeah, maybe yeah.
yeah, and sometimes I'm wearing this, but they I'm using when I'm going to shower, when I'm going to the at the gym. Yes, but usually I'm wearing here socks. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's all.
Just socks without anything.
Flip
Flip
flops.
flip
Flip.
flops has a.
Yeah. Thank you for this. Yeah, and yeah, pretty often I'm wearing just socks. It's more comfy. But at this moment, I received
But
other flip flops, and they are more warm, and you can, yeah. I received them only in at the
Yeah,
gym.
and
Yeah.
in Russia it's sleepers. Like it's exactly sleepers. It's not flip flops. It's sleepers because
Hmm.
uh, I was wearing in Russia at my apartment
Yeah.
sleepers because you need to keep some warm. My floor in my apartment it's not so warm at winter time. So
Wow.
I have to wear it because only socks it's not enough. Even warm socks it's not enough, and it's like you can fall if you will wear some socks. So it's
Yeah.
uh,
To be honest, I in Russia never was wearing so often. I was usually walking in socks. What are
mhm.
you saying socks?
Yeah.
Socks? I'm saying socks. Is it okay?
Uh, I don't know. Socks.
Socks.
I think socks. It's a different meaning of it.
Meaning, okay, anyway, I think what yeah, right now I received, because I think what is new flip-flops, and I will wear this too. Yeah, but
Socks. Mm.
socks.
It's kind of the same.
Yeah,
Socks.
socks through R. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's the same. Socks.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you, Bill, for donation. Being half German and Hawaiian at heart, I wear house shoes. Far less cleaning of rugs and carpets. Thank you, Bill. Thank you. And yeah, he also received slides. Maybe I received slides.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm. And I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you about perspectives. Perspectives which you can see in Russia, or maybe you cannot see, because again, when people flee country without people, it's not country, it's just territory. And when you're fleeing and you see how millions of Russians fleeing from Russia, what do you think? Does Russia has perspectives right now, and which what waits Russia in future?
Um, I can't answer what is the future like clearly because I don't know what government will do in the near
Hmm.
future and long term. What Russian government
Hmm.
plans, how to solve all that happened
Yeah,
in crisis inside Russia, all over the globe. It's affect Russia. Any
yeah.
any chance that this is definitely we have a problem after all happened.
Hmm.
About perspectives, not a lot of Russians live in the country because
Hmm.
Russia is more than 120 million people, and if 2 million people left, it's just it's a lot of it's small percentage of people, and it's
Yeah.
not all the people. A lot of youth, they still in Russia for some reasons,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe they are disagree with government. Maybe they are disagree with Putin, with regime,
Mm-hmm.
with all is happening, but somehow they cannot leave the country because of money problems, because of their family, because they need to take care after about their close,
Mm-hmm.
relatives, and different reasons, I think, and they will be in Russia, so they will
Mm-hmm.
stay in Russia. Maybe in the future they will left, but now they staying there, and it's obvious they need to find some job,
Mm-hmm.
maybe if they want to grow their own project, they will try to grow their project in this situation, like it's mm, how to say, it's not a it's a lot of problems, but
Mm-hmm.
they will find the ways how to solve it, because in Russia a lot of people they try somehow to business business issues we will fix it anyhow. uh, Sometimes it's because of corruption,
Mm-hmm.
because if you need to receive something, if you need to solve some questions, if you need to get some documents, um, the people on the places, they if they have a power, they will
Mm-hmm.
ask you to give them money, because in another, how to say, if you do not give money, they will not solve your problem. Of course it's a problem, and
Yeah.
I think if you have a chance to not to give money, it will somehow fix that problem, because corruption, it's the most dangerous problem of corruption. I think it's people who offer money for solving their problems. You don't need to offer money, you don't need to give your money for solving a problem, and if anyone will not give any money for solving problems, corruption will be way less. Let me let
Um,
me let me
yeah.
think.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah. So it doesn't matter what is happening. People will try to live in this time, in these terrible times.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe Russia will be more closed for another countries. Yeah, it will be more independent, and maybe in some aspects it will be good for Russia, but not for people, because now government growing that like hate by Russians to other nations, to the
Yeah.
West, and like it's because of the West and stuff. It's because of some presidents of America, for example.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to grow that thoughts in Russians, in Russian nation, and a lot of Russians believe in it. Um, I think this mm, how to say, government chose that way
Mm-hmm.
um, to blame only West, only West.
For me, what I see right now, what is happening, in such a way. Of course, they're blaming West. They do this because they want to keep this power. They need enemy, and they created this enemy by themselves. They wanted because, come on, 20 years they were stealing money. They were corrupted. They were not developing Russia. They were like just. If you will go outside of Moscow, you will look. Moscow, it's not Russia. It's not Russia at all. If we it's if we will talk about perspectives, of course, it is important to say, but I don't see in Russia perspectives at all. Russia can change and can change completely because these national republics, which you can find in Russia, they don't have this support of, they're not supporting this war at all. Like Tatarstan, Republic of Tatarstan, Dagestan, Republic of Buryatia, all of them they're not supporting, but and they also are not represented. And if we will talk about perspectives, before Far East of Russia was um, like one country. Can you imagine this? For during few years when Soviet Union was existed, uh, Far East of Russia was kind of like different country because they
like
couldn't fight with
Tatarstan,
Japan. Yeah, and
kind.
at this moment, the longer this war will continue, the higher risk what Russia will be falling apart because of nationality, these national republics. It's these perspectives, this is this what is doing Putin, his policy. He's not developing country. He's doing everything just to pressure nationalities, like nationals in Russia. And that's why, of course, for me
but
personally, difficult to see perspectives. They're
but
destroying
but
country.
but at the
Yeah,
same time, yeah, they how to say, government say it's okay to give some pressure for small nations in Russia, you know, for Buryats like
yeah, yeah.
an hour. But at the same time, the whole country, they are like all against the West because
Yeah.
to uh, how to say, like it's easier to I need to check this word because it's important.
Yeah.
It's important. I think unite people like against against the enemy, some enemy. Yeah, yeah. So government trying to unite all Russians, all nationalities in Russia against someone in the West, and
Mm-hmm.
it's easier to unite for some, mm, for something kind reasons. You know, we need to grow. We need to grow our country. That's why we need to unite, but not against some enemies from other countries. It's
Yeah.
different, but
Yeah.
it's easier. It's always easier to unite people against some enemy because we see the results. I see it in the comments, in Russian comments about some videos. You know, I know one channel in Russian environment of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Ukrainian in Russia. Ukrainian in Russian. He make his videos in
Mm-hmm.
Russian, and his position it's like he making titles of
Yeah.
his videos like see all the poverty of Russia, see all the shortage, and he is like laughing
Mm-hmm.
about all that, and he's showing some streets of Russia, and people who come in to his video to the comments, they write such things like, yeah, it's not true, like Russia is growing, Russia is how to say, standing from the knees, and
Mm-hmm.
it will be even stronger and stuff. So it's very sarcastic, and people laughing, and they like in the comments they write, we are against the West, and that's like the West will the West sucks, the West sucks. Let me
Yeah.
say,
Not
like that's
socks.
yeah,
Sucks.
yeah.
Yeah.
So people
Okay.
leave
Yes.
such comments. and
I,
this
I
is
want
like
I want to say what, in my opinion, again, the longer war will continue, the more chances that Russia will fall apart. And the most important, of course, I'm talking about national republics. And here people asking your opinion. Do you think is it possible? In my opinion, it's very possible. But your opinion, what do you think?
possible. What?
It,
What
to
possible?
fall apart Russia on these national republics? And this question from whom? Yes, I didn't find this question. Anyway, do you think is it possible or not that Russia will fall apart on nations, these national republics? Yeah.
Um, yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen to
Mm-hmm.
all that happened, that split between the
Yeah.
republics. But now I do not see that that may happen in like today.
Mm-hmm.
Today, like now, it will not happen because
Yeah.
government trying to keep everyone in their places. Like everyone must be quiet. A lot of police trying to keep the situation,
Mm-hmm.
at the same level. No protests, everything prohibited and stuff. So police, it's a very important instrument to the government
Mm-hmm.
to, to keep people in their, be quiet better. If you do not want bad future for you and your family. So
I
until,
see what your picture is stuck. Sorry. And of course, I agree with you. What? Yes. Yes. Hello. Hello. It's magic. And I agree with you completely. What we cannot predict, we're just trying to understand what is happening, and we are trying to use logic
yeah,
when we are thinking. I agree with you completely, and yes, uh, I'm understanding you completely. And we have hello message from Deep 1955. Hello, Alex, and his friend Dima. Thank you, of course, for your greetings. And I want to remind you what you can support Dima. You can be his subscriber too. Yes,
yeah,
you can subscribe on him. He has a lot of videos, live streams, and you can support him also by donations. It is a wonderful opportunity because I'm sure you need this support right now as ever. Because, come on, you left Russia like I left,
yeah,
and at this moment, I'm understanding how donations is important. PayPal for Dima, yes, PayPal for
yeah.
Dima,
PayPal
yeah,
is the best choice, I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, thank you, of course, for supporting Road King. Thank you a lot. And I want to find questions in our chat. I will be
Yeah,
happy if
yeah.
we will
Let's
find
do it.
together because it's important to see what people think. Questions. This question about broken into different nations was Mark Bramlett, and you
Yeah,
answered this. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So until
Mm-hmm.
police will be the same, but I think it will be the same because people in the police, um, this is not regular people. This is people who, they have a different mindset, different mindset.
Yeah.
Um, they different. Let me say only these words. You
Yeah.
can add something if you want, but I will keep
Yeah.
my mouth clear. My
Yeah.
shut.
My mouth also clear because opinion and like you said, and we know it's not only I know. You know also what Russia. It is Moscow. It is different country. Moscow is
Yeah,
completely different. St. Petersburg also. It's like two different countries. They live own lives, and majority of Russian was living far east of Russia in Siberia because people didn't have there any perspectives. It was for during decades. Decades. It wasn't like problem which appeared like 2 months ago. And also we know what poverty there is. Yeah. It's terrible conditions. These regions in terrible conditions. I was living in Far East of Russia all my life. I know what I'm talking about, and I'm sure you was in villages. Villagers
yeah,
in the western part of Russia and eastern. It's completely different. Far east of Russia, dying, and you can feel this even by official resources like how many people live there by
yeah,
official, but in reality it's much worse. And I'm sure what sooner or later it will. We already had protests in Khabarovsk, and they will be much worse. It's what I'm sure about. Great points, guys. To most Russians know that the elite send their kids to study and live in the West. Do you know about this? What can you say about this? Uh,
this is obvious. We see it even in some media which is
mhm,
not related to the government, but not stopped working by government.
mhm,
So we have some articles about kids of Russian oligarchs or people close to
yeah.
government. They like having their vacation in Western countries and having some, real estate or property there. In I think people remember, people know about that, but maybe they like it's okay. It's they're on a different level, like all the politicians and stuff. It's not my level. I'm just a regular person and stuff.
Yeah.
I see another question
Yeah.
from yeah, Kana Batani. Does the average Russian think the West hates them? What do you think?
I don't feel when it depends, of course, from education and where people live in. When people don't have resources, like they're not using internet and listening only this propaganda from TV, they will, of course, have this effect of Russian propaganda. And as a result, they will like hate, hate West, hate everything what's not Russia. They hating even Chinese. They like racist pretty often. These people,
Yeah,
because I met some people and they were like, oh, we're living in Primorsky region close to China, but
yeah,
you will be surprised what how many uneducated people there and how many people who's especially who is from villages and they like hating China. But we are
uh,
close to China. Can
yeah.
you imagine it? How it's possible? Like 40 kilometers from China, like few miles. And yes, I'm sure what. Um,
I
mm,
already
yeah.
I already
Mhm.
made the video about hate
Yeah.
from Russians to against the West. So I answered like it's yeah, like you said, it depends on person.
Yeah.
What is his status, maybe status in his life, in what is
Hmm.
his friends, like your friends means a lot and it can say about you a lot. If all of your friends think the West is evil, you will think I think the same. Yeah. Or if
And
you
mhm,
or if you was thinking different, but you have a lot of you spend a lot of time with your friends who think Western is evil, and maybe you will change your opinion if you
yeah.
do not change your friends like
Oh my goodness, we have
Julie.
$100.
Yeah, Julie.
Thank you, Julie. You're great. Thank you a lot for supporting. It is very important. And I wanted to say a little more about children of oligarchs. I want to say about my experience. It's not like I never met them in person. I never because who am I? I'm nobody. And
Yeah,
yeah, when I was living in Russia, what I saw, you can imagine living in a village in little small town last year with Zavos. It's like, yes, village. And I saw on Instagram, like you can find pretty easy how rich children on Instagram showing how rich they are. They have this Lamborghini, they have these castles, they're studying abroad. And I don't know why, but I always like I see this, how they're living. And so everybody can see this. And at the same time, you're living in far east of Russia, in Siberia, and you're like, what is happening? These children, their children, right now abroad, they have best education in the world, they have best cars in the world, and you must what to do? Die for their fathers, mothers, for future of these children. And as a result, of
Yeah,
course, you will not are not accepting this at all. This system which Putin created, is this vertical of power where his surroundings, oligarchs, has all benefits. And that's why I believe what this inequality, it will explode one day. It's already exploding. I mean, because you can see this by yourself. Maybe if you will travel in forest of Russia, you will look
yeah,
transport. But even in the western parts of Russia, it's completely, you can find abandoned towns, villages where people don't have these perspectives. All perspectives only in Moscow. It was before sanctions. All people trying to go to Moscow. Regions was dying slowly for during decades. And it's,
yeah.
come on. And these children right now, they will, at this moment, what to do? They
But
will not be
I
mobilized, I want to say to
yeah,
you. Yeah.
yeah. But I have the story. It's not related to oligarchs' kids. I know one guy from
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. He
Yeah.
came to Russia from another country. I'm not sure. Is it Australia or United States?
Yeah.
So he is created his farm in some. I think it's close to Siberia. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Like it's not Moscow. It's not near Moscow. It's not Saint Petersburg. So it's not in the western part, as I guess. And he
Mm-hmm.
created his farm. I think maybe even with support of government. So it was like a empty field, and I don't know what he did. He built that farm from the zero, or it was somehow prepared to his business. But he have a successful business, as I understand. He make cheese, milk, like maybe something else. So foreigners, they see a different, different sides, and this is one of example.
Mm.
I don't remember the name of that guy, but he was very he
He
was
was
a
doing
meme.
cheese. He was doing cheese, and he looks like this. I remember.
He
It
was a
looks like I
meme.
remember.
He was a
Yeah.
meme in Russia because he was a foreigner and he was speaking Russian, and he
Yeah.
was telling something which was very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were using him, like, of course, to be honest, not every investor who is going to Russia have this support. This it was project. It was project from the beginning, like for using for propaganda. They were giving him, who is receiving a lot of donation, not donation, from government support, such government. Who is receiving? Which kind of business have this support from government? I don't know. If you will try to open something, you will be shocked how many credits you will need to open your own business. Government, business in Russia, not supporting. Government is not supporting business in Russia at all. And thank you for donations. I see them. Yeah. Hmm.
I can't find this guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're trying to find his name. Yeah.
yeah, but I don't remember.
cheesemaker. Yes.
Mm,
Thank you,
yeah,
Bill.
understand.
Dima, and he's saying, Dima, if the Russian economy does collapse, could you see yourself working with Konstantin? Are you?
But
Yeah,
what Konstantin is doing? What is his project?
I don't know, to be honest, his project too.
So I don't know.
No. It depends, of course, what kind of project he has. Of course, it
Yeah,
is. Yeah, I can understand. Of course, when you don't know what he has, it's yeah.
maybe his breakfast club, and but breakfast club. It's not to be a member of breakfast club. It's not work, right?
Yes, yes, it's like yeah, it will be strange.
Yeah,
Um,
to help others.
Susie, Russia hasn't suffered sanctions so far and are unlikely to do so as they're one step ahead at all times. I'm not understanding this.
Suffered
Anyway,
sanctions so far and are unlikely to do as we're one step ahead of all times.
yeah.
Mm. Yeah, of course, Russia suffer um after all these sanctions. But I personally I want to see the effect of long-term sanctions, like in this year, for example. I
You're
want to
waiting,
see.
you're waiting.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I want to see
Yeah.
what is the uh, you know mm, huge result of it. I know um, that budget is suffering because of these sanctions. Like it's not only sanctions, but situation between Gazprom and his streams, like North streams and other
Yeah.
streams, like what type of streams they have, and the that situation, like it's blown up, or how to say, uh, it was how to say, mm, terract. Can I say terract?
Terrorism. No.
Russia called it terrorism, but
Yeah.
I think maybe it was planned. It was planned to not to send the gas to other countries. It may be planned because we have that interest to do not send gas and maybe oil because of something happened.
I just want to say my opinion here, just pretty simple. Russian government was using the messing business and economy business. They're using this for propaganda, for own benefits, and they wanted to make the situation where Western countries will only rely on Russia and will be dependent from Russia. And here they just was doing this everything for this. And of course, they also likes money because they were receiving a lot of money for during decades, Putin and his friends. And of course, I think their plan was just to make money, that's all, for themselves. They never was giving this money to ordinary people. They didn't build anything for in far east of Russia, what you can say, oh, this was built money or from natural resources which he received.
Yeah.
Yes, they did build nothing for this time. That's what I see. Yeah.
Yeah, resources. Um, it's not Russians. It's government
Oligarchs.
or oligarchs.
Because this company, they were there was privatization, and they belongs right now not Russians. They belongs to oligarchs, these oil companies, all this Gazprom, and they're killing each other right now for this because, like, I mean, um, because of policy which Putin created. And yes, um, What's the point? How do you think? What Russia attacked Ukraine? What's the point? Like,
Mm,
they destroying right now everything. Right now, there you can find this war in Solidar, this city, Solidar. If I'm understanding right now, people, it's fight for logistic. But what do you think? What's the point? What Russia can win if everything destroyed by Russians?
I don't know exactly what the point of all that conflict, and Putin said it's some reasons but they are not. I think it's not true. It's not true. It's only how to say like fake reasons for
Yeah.
some different reasons. Maybe he really thinks, and I said about that in one of videos or maybe live streams, like Putin think he is really against the West, like still from the
Hmm.
Soviet times. He really
Yeah.
think, yeah, his one of his goals is to keep NATO, away from Russia, from Russian borders, and I think it's because of the that kind of war between Russia and the West, according to Putin's
Mhm.
mindset, or like
Yeah.
the way he think. So maybe it's because of that. Like Ukraine need to be neutral according to his goals.
But if
And
everything destroyed, if people dying and people fleeing, it's like again, it's just territory. Russia already biggest country in the world. They will never develop in Western. I mean, far east of Russia. There you can find only poverty and miserable life. People was fleeing from these regions, and why
yeah,
they need a new territory.
uh, I think he didn't think about that at all.
That's you're right.
So
You're right completely.
it's
Was
it's
he?
political games. If some political events happening, no one thinks about people. No one thinks about people because it's like we said before, it's a different level,
Yeah.
different level. It's different people, and I think it's his some goals. Maybe
It's all.
he
Yeah.
he didn't tell, he didn't share his opinion, a real opinion
I
with
think was he just lost his mind. He's already old. I mean, he's crazy. That's why it's what power doing with people when you have this too long, more than 20 years. It's what is happening with those who is losing sense of reality. They think what they can afford for themselves just to start war, and nothing will happen with them. Uh, and he found yes.
I think maybe another additional reason
Mhm.
is to raise his rating in Russia. And this is really these events, like we discussed before.
Mhm.
This is raising the national national spirit, and we have enemy, and we need to unite against that enemy. And
Mhm.
this is which is growing his rating, because in the next year it will be elections, president
Yeah.
election,
Yeah.
and if you want to keep the power in your hands, you
Mhm.
need to raise your rating like a real one, not fake rating, which you know election in Russia,
Mhm.
you know it's a joke. It's a joke,
Yeah.
and everyone knows it's fake. But people in the far regions of Russia, they still believe in babushkas, and old people, they still believe like who else, who can be the president of Russia,
Mhm.
and even no one can answer who can be, if not Putin, but who,
Yes.
because
Me.
because we do not have,
We
we
have
because we
to be. Yeah. To
yeah
be
we
honest,
do not.
those who
Go
had
ahead, go
sorry,
ahead.
sorry. they
yeah.
were already killed. Who
Uh,
had,
yeah.
yes,
Kinda.
yeah.
Someone killed, someone not.
Someone in prison,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And we don't have a choice. And in this situation, you need to um, how to say, to make situation like you will not have any choice in the future. So I'm your only one, um, how to say, only one
Choice,
in the best
option,
choice
yeah,
you can
yeah.
do. So this is how it works. It can be another reason because government knows what about rating, about
Yeah,
the loss of rating, and they need to somehow raise it.
but at this moment they're losing rating because they're losing also war. This Minister of Defense Shoigu, his rating is so low. Putin losing rating, to be honest, because he started unpopular war from the beginning. He started this and it was unpopular. People found these new words, denazification. What does it mean? For
It doesn't mean nothing.
yeah,
All the people who watching us,
yeah.
they need to understand that regular people in Russia who vote, who really vote, who truly believe to power of Putin, they truly believe in he is only one choice, and this is most of Russians. If you think like I think, we are against all that stuff and we against that power, it doesn't mean nothing because most of the people believe, and this is a problem. Most of the people, they working in the factories, they working in regular jobs, they don't have a time to fact check the information in the internet. People in Russia, as I see, and I think you see, people do not want to um, take the responsibility on their hands. People do not want to take responsibility because they remember Soviet times. In Soviet time, government was, your god. You want everything by government: education, job, pension. When you retire,
Mm-hmm.
people want everything by government, and people still, like guys from 1420, they asked a lot of people. They made a lot of surveys, and they asked a lot old people, and they are thinking about Soviet Union, like they want Soviet Union back because their life was pretty nice, because you don't have to do nothing. You will have small money, not enough for life, but you will, do not care about anything.
Yes,
You
you will
don't,
be able to survive somehow because yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, but that was good because
but
it changing
I want to
mindset.
say you I want to say a very interesting moment. What Russia had this moment of freedom in 2000s, when they were in the
Yeah,
90s. It was a moment of freedom, and of course, those period of time there was privatization, oligarchs appeared. There was mafia, there was Russian mafia, everything there was. But
yeah,
also there was a feeling of freedom. And after, when people already had this individualism, something, do you think is it possible for Russia to take this away from Russians? I mean, because young generation, the modern Russian young
yeah,
generation, they're different. They prefer to use it. They don't work on factories usually. They prefer to TikTok, Instagram. To they don't like pretty often to watch TV propaganda. And this generation completely different. They have internet. They have information. What do you think? Do you think is it possible to keep all these millions young people and to change, to stop progress in Russia? Because by this choice, they're stopping progress. Well, they started. They want to. They're creating these walls on the internet and creating a bubble, information. Yeah,
Yeah.
bubble.
Um, can you
Can
repeat
you
your
repeat?
question like
Because I was saying
shortly,
too much. Yes,
like short,
shortly. Is
short?
it possible for Russia to stop this mass of people? Because if they will be to have this, to make this pressure on young population, there will
Yeah.
be revolution. Because how you can change this progress? How you can, because is it possible to stop this for Russians? Do they, does Russian government have this power to keep all these people in miserable conditions so long, to keep them in a, yeah, like, so, to make this Russia like North Korea, like now North Korea? Is it possible for Russia or not?
Oh, I can answer. Can answer. I don't know. Like, Russia is too different. I think it's too different country to compare to North Korea. They have a different culture, but in Russia, no one like some people um, mm, have that values which can keep them in one condition, like they believe in God and they want to have a stable job and stuff. But I think a younger generation in Russia, they believe, they do not count on pension in Russia. They don't count on government. They don't want
Hmm.
anything by government because they do not believe to government. So that's why they need that freedom of business, of growing, a lot of opportunities and stuff. And if you somehow relate it to some government programs, it works. It really works. You said it don't work, but in some region it works. In Saint Petersburg, if you're
It's amazing.
if you if you try hard, if you try hard to find some program which can help you, it will, you can receive all the support by that department of government. And I know people who have support by government, but it's under control. So you need to make a reports of your what you done, what you did in your project, and you need to send a report like I did this with this. I need more money, or I don't need more money, and how the which is the result of your
Hmm.
project. It's under control. It's like tough thing to spend money for anything you want. But yeah, so some people I know, they use that support by government, and they think like mostly women. They think like everything is okay.
Hmm.
Like mostly women, as I like I need to repeat, mostly women
Yes,
now in these days. But
mostly. Yeah, yeah.
some guys too, if they have that uh, how to say, like they will not be sent to front because they work in special niche in Russia, like
Hmm.
they IT specialist in a huge company like Sberbank or maybe
Yeah,
another
yeah.
company. Like they have that
In,
immunity, or I don't know how to say, like, yeah, they will not be sent to front. So they think like, okay, I'm gonna work on Sber, I'm gonna do my job. They not gonna send me to front, and like life is good. Like on
I
on
mean,
on all, I think all they see it's raising like inflation in the grocery stores and in our stores, and they see like brands live in Russia, and that's all we see. Like They have their salary, and they pretty satisfied about it. So yeah,
Completely agree what you can find such different people who is using benefits from this system, and it's logical.
yeah,
Like, and but also, mm, yes, I completely agree. Russia is not North Korea, but it's becoming closer and closer, more similar because of restrictions which Russian government is doing, because of laws which Russian government creating against LGBT community, against freedom of speech, and it's making Russian governments more um, close to North
yeah.
Korea
I got
by
your
all
point.
means.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Kinda, but it will not be the second North Korea. It's impossible. It's impossible, I think. If nothing gonna change in the system in Russia, like in some government, instruments like police and stuff. But system
Um,
is too complicated. Like I think it's like in United States, the system it's too complicated. But it's more flexible. It's more flexible than in United States. What I
Russian
mean?
system.
Yeah, Russian system it's more flexible because we see, for example, banking system in Russia it's more developed in any country. I think any country, maybe some another like which have has the a lot of IT specialists, maybe in Argentina or somewhere, maybe some European countries. But Russian banking system it's one of the best systems in the world, and everyone knows about it. Like maybe some people not know, but yeah,
I just you said about this, and I'm like, okay. Of course I've heard what Russian system, bank system. They have good applications. They have good but at this moment it's important to say more than 70,000 before first when war started. 70,000 IT specialists they left Russia,
yeah.
and they right now you can find they're working in Dubai, in America, in Western countries. And what will happen with this best system when people fleeing from mobilization? It's and
Um,
this flexibility. It's all about people. It's all about creativity. It's about the smartest people who is working there, and it will disappear if they had this advantage in front of others. It will disappear. It's already disappearing because all these supercomputers, bank systems which Russia had and has right now, Russia is not. It's not their products. All these
yeah,
supercomputers
agree,
Russia was
agree.
buying from Western, from the USA, and as a result, all everything was Russia built. It was based on technologies which
Yes.
Western countries was giving and the USA was giving. That's what's important. It was imagination, to be honest, just illusion, not illusion, because the main product from the USA, from other countries.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where from because, like, we're talking about present time, right? Like
Yes.
now the system works perfectly. I don't know what
You
gonna
mean
be
banking
in the near
system? You mean
future.
banking
Yeah,
system?
banking
Ah.
system. But I don't know what's gonna happen if like they do not have a chance to import the same technology, like all the stuff for banking system works well and specialists left Russia. But anyways, not all of them left Russia because some percentage of people who left Russia
Mhm.
now asking them to go back because you can't work remotely in Russian company
Yeah.
and being in another company. And another thing, it's another side of banking system. It works pretty well, like application is good and stuff, but at the same time, it's controlled by the
Mhm.
government, and you use it, like you satisfied, you like to send money, it's very fast and stuff. But if something's happening with you, like you,
Mm-hmm.
or how to say, owe, or am I pronounce it correctly, like owe money to someone,
Yes,
your
yes.
bank account may be banned from the scratch because it's under control of some department, and bank it's under that department. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to block your bank account and take your money from your bank account. It's because of that banking system. It's very, how to say, it's developed, but it's under control. Like, this is a problem. For
Yeah,
me, this is a problem.
yeah. And I see donations from Bill. Thank you for this.
Yeah.
I didn't expect what we will talk about this. I mean, yes, I expected what it will be interesting conversation. I knew this, but it is very serious conversation. Also, like for me, it's like okay, wonderful, and I believe I'm sure about this. What everything will change and how it will change. Time will
So
show. Yeah.
why I do not believe and I do not say anything, like I cannot imagine anything. Like I said
Hmm.
on my last video, I do not believe in some rumors.
Mm.
I believe only on
Uh,
facts. And yeah, I based, all my thoughts, they are based that I cannot
mhm.
believe in some aspects to government or secretary and stuff.
I want
But
to say to you, yeah, sorry.
yeah, so
Mhm.
who knows what's how the system will be changed? Maybe something's gonna happen, and
With
people
me,
will go back,
yeah,
or I don't know.
I don't know a lot of things too, but I didn't believe what Russia will attack Ukraine too. I was
Yeah,
watching this BBC news, CNN news, different news from Western countries, and I'm like, "What are you talking about? Who will attack
yeah,
Russia? We are not capable. We have so much corruption. We have poverty." I was living in forest of Russia, and I was looking around me, and I'm like, I was living in poverty, and I'm like, how we can be capable to attack Ukraine if we live in poverty? Look at
yeah.
us.
I
We had
didn't I didn't
protests
believe in
here.
that too. It
Yeah,
was like unexpected event, and I shared my thoughts on that
yeah.
day when the invasion happened. Um, I was in shock. I was reading the news like for the whole day,
Hmm.
and I was, waiting, like it's gonna happen, like it's how to say, not happen, like it will end soon because some NATO or
Hmm.
someone or Ukrainian system, it will be, protect their territory. Um, how to say, very, it will be different power, more serious power, and
Yeah,
it will be, how to say, over, the conflict will be over. I was
and
believing in it.
here we have questions from Bill. Um, Thank you, Bill, first for your support, for your donations, and I want to say at first thank you to also there was donation. One moment from Amy. Cell phone providers left Russia. Yes, soon the cell phones will be a thing of the past. It's yes, and the Siemens left Russia.
Yeah,
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 and
heard it.
what it means they were providing. It's not only just uh, stations. It's also software which they were given, and that's you can't organize a revolution by mail.
Yeah,
What will happen when there is no phone and no internet? I'm sure there will be phones, there will be, but it will be in terrible expensive. Only like because how they can provide these services, it will be expensive pretty much, and people will live. Prices will increase. I'm sure about this because come on. But you're right, without internet right now, it's more difficult to create, how to say, fast changing information more quickly in modern time. It will be more complicated. Yes.
Um, I do not believe that internet will be turned off in Russia. It's impossible. It's
It will be
impossible
turned
because
off only
yeah.
on those times where they want. Example, there will be protests, like in Minsk. There was protests. They turned off internet in Minsk. They will
Ah,
practice this on same
yeah,
only
for the
when they
short time,
want.
you mean?
Yeah,
For the
for
short
short
time.
times,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure
Yeah,
they will government use these at this
yeah,
moment.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was happening in Russian protests. It was happening already in St.
Yeah,
Petersburg. It
yeah,
was the
only
same.
because they don't want to spread information like, oh, in Russia they have protests. They don't want to talk about this. And Bill, yeah,
I see a question from Bill, but I
mhm,
need to, I want answer to this.
yeah,
What happened to Oleg Tinkov, Bank?
yeah,
Um, so what happened to his bank right now? I'm a user of Tinkov Bank still. I'm still
mm,
use this bank. It's my main bank, and I really like it. Like this is one of the best banks in Russia. One of the best.
mm-hmm,
What happened with him? He was forced to sell his business, and now it still works, but it works not. It's not in the same condition. It's not in the same condition because um, it's not because of Oleg left the management, but support on this bank it's changed after that moment, and they became more rude, like they like hate you, like kind of hate you when you ask support of something
yeah,
like happening, like something, some problems with application and stuff. And what I
mm-hmm,
mentioned this, but in other aspects, like it's now more controlled by government, this bank,
mm-hmm,
because the new owner of this bank, it's Russian oligarch, and he has not the best reputation, let me say like that.
completely,
Yeah, but I don't know what he is doing, like uh, you know um, he has bank and he has some another company like
mm-hmm,
investing, but I don't know what that company doing in
mm-hmm.
Russia or another. So it still works, but I don't know. Again,
But
like
I want to add to you because we were talking about business today.
yeah,
What is this? What's happened with Tinkov, with Pavel Durov, with VK? It's talking about climate in business in Russia. It's talking what in Russia impossible to make business. If you
yeah,
disagree with Russian government, you will be killed. You will be your business will be taken from you, and you will be just uh, immigrants in other
yeah,
country.
yeah.
It's impossible to make business in Russia. To
If
do.
you want to have if you want to grow your company, if you want to build huge business, it's impossible.
Yeah.
If you want to have small business, like enough for your family and not so huge, it will be fine. Like now, a lot of people use that platforms like Ozon and Wildberries, and
Yeah.
they feel kind of okay
Hmm.
because a lot of people use that services and stuff, and people make huge money on that platforms, huge, but
Yeah.
not so big like Gazprom or Lukoil. Like
No, of
it's another
course. Yeah.
level again. So it's enough, and these people they are satisfied about climate in Russia. They are satisfied.
For
So
them, it's
if
enough. It's
you,
like yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you ask him, if you came up to them in the street like guys
Mm-hmm.
from 1420,
Mm-hmm.
they do not say like everything is bad, even
Yeah.
now. These people do not tell you such words. Yeah,
Um, Maybe they didn't have this experience and they didn't see Far East of Russia. Maybe
maybe,
this is the reason.
maybe, yeah,
Because all Russia, Russia created this showcase, Moscow and St. Petersburg. But Russia, it's not two cities. It's not
yeah,
only two cities. Real Russia, it is Siberia, it is Far East of Russia, it is different. What like you can find this MCAT, this Ring Road in
yeah.
Moscow. Real Russia, it's what when you cross this road, you can see real Russia, and that's important to say because it is very important to understand. Majority of Russians live in poverty, real poverty.
Even if you go from Moscow to how did you say like MCAT?
Uh,
Cross if
ro-
you cross
Ring roads, Moscow Ring roads, if I'm correct.
like
Ring
if you go
roads.
over MCAT like
Yeah,
to to region like near
yeah,
Moscow.
yeah.
In some places near Moscow, we do not have gas in houses. Even close to Moscow.
Wow.
I know one guy, he's a YouTuber, he's a Russian YouTuber. And he has his business and stuff. He's a writer, he's writing books and stuff. And he lives near Moscow. But a few years ago he started building his house near
Mm-hmm.
Moscow, and still, like he cannot, you know, how to say, like gas to his house. He
Yeah.
can't, no gas in his house, and
Yes.
he's like, "What? I live near Moscow. What is happening?"
In far east of Russia, we don't have gas at all, but somehow Putin decided to sell gas to China and through Primorsky region. Can you imagine? You can see these pipes, pipeline, yeah, and they're
Mhm.
going to to China from Primorsky territory, Primorsky Krai. But we don't have gas for themselves. People live and using wood, going to the forest, and they're using wood for warming their wooden house. I don't know. And it's welcome to Russia, welcome to
Yeah.
Siberia. But they're selling this gas to China, and it's terrible. And I think what it's will be wonderful if we will make some conclusions, like what we and yeah,
Conclusion about
to
what?
what's happened, what your thoughts? Will Russia win this war? Maybe to summarize our live stream. Yeah.
Uh, about winning, I'm not sure if all the nation will be forced
Mm-hmm.
to work on the front. uh, Maybe it will be like Russia will continue invasion and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what's gonna happen after that, because it will be even worse for Russia
Yeah.
if West gonna support Ukraine and send more troops, more how to say, technique and military technique.
Military
Yeah,
equipment.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
equipment and stuff. Ukraine can win, but the conflict will be not over, I think, because Russia, like not Russia, Putin
Mm-hmm.
want uh, somehow like to how to say, to come to his goal,
Mm-hmm.
and he can't go back because it's not in his style. Let me say like
Yes.
that. Like he can't go back. He can't
He
say
wants
like
to. He doesn't want to look like a weak guy.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
started, that's
exactly,
will be
exactly.
against his.
Yeah, exactly, like you
Yeah.
said. So that's why it's continuous. So I just how to say observer. I
Mm-hmm.
just can be somewhere in on the side and watch because
Mm.
I do not want to be involved in that conflict. I don't want to be
Um,
involved.
I
So
yes, I understand you, and I'm understanding you completely. Also, in my situation, I feel I feel responsibility to talk about this, especially when people die. People, dozens, thousands of people dying, and it's important to have this flag. Thank you for this to you, Bill. Yes, because it is very, very uh, important to make Russia freedom, to give Russia freedom, and at least to talk about this, at least to talk sometimes.
yeah,
To have such discussion for me, it was very nice to talk with you about. We didn't plan questions, it's just
yeah,
was like here. And thank you everyone for your chat, for your donation. It was very cool, very
yeah.
cool.
Thank you
Yeah.
everyone for coming. Thank you everyone for your
Yes.
donation. Thank you for subscription to my channel
Yeah.
and to Alex's channel from my channel. Like guys from my channel, they came to your channel. I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yes. For these days, there like maybe 80 people who subscribed, and I think for me it is a lot already. Like 80 people. Wow, we are growing. Our channel community become more stronger because of you. Thank you a lot.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yes. And yes. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye 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 bye.
Yeah.
Oh. You end the live stream.
Yes. It's me.
Yeah, it's yours. And Roy sent some
And
donation.
yeah, it's wonderful.